The Misfits were a collective of 6 gaming YouTubers: Fitz, iNotorious, Mccreamy, SwaggerSouls, TobyontheTele, and Zuckles, who joined forces to create a shared channel. At its peak, the group amassed an impressive 1.8 million subscribers. The Misfits stood out as a group that really connected with the college crowd thanks to their stories about drinking, drugs, and other chaotic adventures, all shared on what used to be their successful podcast. Yet today their channel sits abandoned. So what led to the downfall of a group that seemed destined for continued success? Why did their rise come to an unexpected halt? This is the entire history of the Misfits. In December 2014, Mason, better known as Zuckles, launched his YouTube channel at just 15 years old, debuting with a video on Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Mason's inspiration to start his own YouTube channel came from his younger brother, who had already begun uploading CSGO content. He soon shifted focus to Rust, a game he was not only highly skilled at, but deeply obsessed with. So much so that he reportedly skipped entire school terms just to keep playing.
Made a YouTube channel, was going through school and shit at the time, and kind of skipped a lot of school just to upload videos.
That's not a bad thing. Look where it's led you.
Oh, I mean, I took terms off, so it was pretty
My God, don't do what he did. Kids, where's the camera? Don't do what Zuckles
Rust will
did.
do it. If you play Rust, that will do it.
Before creating the Zuckles channel, Mason had an earlier YouTube account under the name Brony Chuckles. At the time, he was part of the My Little Pony fandom known as Bronies, and in 2012 he played Minecraft with other fans, many of whom were reportedly adults. However, the Brony Chuckles channel was short-lived as Mason was picked on at school for his involvement in the fandom.
He went through a stage where he thought he was a brony. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it. Say it. Dude, you made videos where you would set up a camera. You would set up a camera and you would go, "Hi guys, Brony Zuckles here. How you guys going?" And then wait, and then because he watched PewDiePie and this was old PewDiePie, so he was always doing the bro fist. He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks for watching, bro hoof." And he did that. Not the bro. He did that.
While building his YouTube channel through Rust gameplay, Mason crossed paths with YouTuber Faceless. The two quickly began collaborating, making videos together that showcased their chaotic chemistry. Over time, Mason and Faceless became a well-known duo in the Rust community and developed a close friendship through their shared content. As Mason and Faceless continued collaborating and growing their channels, one viewer in particular was a huge fan of their content. That fan was SwaggerSouls, who at the time was in college, originally studying computer science before switching his course to radio, television, and film. Their videos would eventually inspire him to start creating content of his own. Hey guys, this is Kluster. Quick shout out to today's sponsor, Private Internet Access, or PIA. If you've never used a VPN before, here's the deal. It's like a privacy shield for your internet. It hides your IP address, encrypts your data, and keeps your online activity safe from hackers, trackers, and even your own internet provider. I started using PIA when I was working on a video on digital privacy, and I've stuck with it ever since. It's fast, reliable, and it saved me more than once, especially when I was traveling and needed to access sites that were blocked locally. One click and I was back in business. And when it comes to streaming, PIA is a game changer. For example, the greatest TV show ever made, Parks and Recreation, isn't available on UK Netflix, but with PIA, I just get connected to a US server and boom, I'm watching it like I'm in Chicago. It's like getting a dozen birthday gifts, but being told you can only open the one from grandpa, which is a pair of socks. PIA lets you open all the gifts. Right now, you can get 83% off PIA just using my link. That's just $2.03 a month, plus 4 extra months completely free. Go to piavpn.com/cluster to get 83% off private internet access with 4 months free. Link is in the description and pinned comment. SwaggerSouls launched his YouTube channel in May 2015, initially posting Rust content before transitioning to CSGO. While creating videos and playing Rust, he eventually encountered a player on a CSGO server called ZTS, who turned out to be Fitz. At the time, Fitz had over 10,000 subscribers, while Swagger had fewer than 500. Fitz has started his channel around the same time, beginning with DayZ videos before shifting to CSGO. At the time, Fitz had dropped out of college after studying art for a year and was working a regular 9-to-5 job as a waiter. After spending a year and a half uploading videos to YouTube as a hobby, Fitz had his breakthrough moment when one of his videos featuring him trolling a toxic CSGO player went viral.
Flick outwards. I'm flicking outwards. You're flicking inwards. No, I'm not.
Seems to be a bit of tension between the young Swede and his coach currently as he's swearing, and looks as though he's actually yelling profusely at his mother now. My goodness, Smithy. Gotta just calm down, take a chill pill here. My goodness,
The two hit it off immediately and began collaborating regularly. Through Fitz, Swagger was introduced to TobyontheTele, who originally went by the name John on the Radio. Fitz and Toby were friends who had gone to school together in Auckland, New Zealand, first meeting each other at the age of 14. Toby had always supported Fitz's content from the very beginning, often joining his streams. Inspired by Fitz's success and creativity, Toby eventually developed her own passion for content creation and launched her own YouTube channel. One night, Swagger was playing a late night gaming session on CSGO on a surf server called Dominant Slayer. That night, Swagger was freestyle rap battling with other players. After a few days, Swagger began getting sent a large amount of friend requests on Steam. Confused, he investigated why he was receiving a large amount of friend requests, soon finding out that his freestyles that night were recorded and uploaded onto YouTube by a channel named iNotorious, who held over 50,000 subscribers during that time.
Absolutely. Gonna be rolling up in the fruitsy tootsie, cause you know I'm gonna be getting the booty every day, like you know it's just another hootie hoot hoot, like I'm gonna be the owl in here. War owl, I know, I ain't that f***ing queer, cause I'm dropping bombs and I'm steering clear of these you know, I ain't got nothing to fear.
At the time, iNotorious was studying electrical engineering in college. The video he uploaded went viral, landing on the front of the CSGO subreddit and giving Swagger a major boost in visibility. Swagger reached out to iNotorious after the giant subscriber boost and the two became friends. Swagger then introduced Fitz and Toby to iNotorious and they all began collaborating. Thanks to iNotorious's large following, Fitz, Toby and Swagger saw their channels explode in popularity. Together, they pioneered a new wave of CSGO content, comedic, chaotic and centered around trolling other players.
And so we started getting like kind of known as this combo on surf servers, and I think we really like the three of us especially launched this kind of new era of CSGO YouTube where it was more based around interacting with the CSGO community. Well, yeah, for one thing, like the funny moments community for CSGO was definitely on the way out. You know, so you know, we kind of, I think in a sense, just added something new to CSGO content on YouTube, and people were finding us and people were really enjoying it.
One day, Swagger uploaded a Rust video titled Bravery Slavery, which caught the attention of Zuckles. After watching and enjoying the video, Mason left a comment stating, "Slide into my DMs, BB." Since Swagger had been a long fan of Mason's content, he was genuinely excited when Mason reached out and responded right away. The two collaborated on a Rust video for the first time, quickly forming a friendship. Soon after, Swagger introduced Mason to the wider group. It was a timely shift for Mason as his friendship with Faceless had just deteriorated. The fallout between Mason and Faceless began when Faceless gradually started distancing himself without explanation. Confused by the sudden distance, Mason made efforts to reconnect, but was apparently ignored.
So, like, there was this one phase where me and Faceless were like the iconic duo on Rust. Everyone
talk about
knew
Faceless
us.
a little bit. He was just another Rust YouTuber at the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he was another Rust YouTuber, but me and him were really fucking close. Like, we would sit up on surf servers till like 4 in the morning and just talk shit. Like good buddies, man. Like I really was I was really close with him. And then it got to a stage where like he kind of just fell off the wagon and stopped playing, and at the same time stopped talking to me completely. So it got to that stage, and he just flat out ignored me. And he was playing Rust one day, and I shot him a message. I was like, "Oh, hey dude, what are you doing?" He's like, he just pretty much said, none of your business. I don't want you to know. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what the hell? And I'm like...
According to an old comment, Faceless distanced himself after becoming annoyed, believing Mason was imitating his video styles and mannerisms. Frustrated, Mason and another player named Matt G thought of the idea to grief Faceless's base during a live stream. Mason recorded the troll and uploaded a video titled Griefing the Facehole Army, effectively ending their relationship.
Come have a look at your walls, bro. You want them? Place all their walls. Bro, you want these walls? You want the walls, bro? Look at the walls. Boys. You want the walls, boys? You want the place all
Hey, bro, see how you're my friend? See you later.
Faceless responded by releasing a 50-minute video addressing Mason directly. The upload caused Mason to lose subscribers temporarily, but he remained active on YouTube and continued producing content. With that bridge burned, Mason began creating content with Swagger and Fitz instead. One day, Fitz met a player named Serenity on a random surf server. Serenity happened to be friends with another content creator named Mccreamy, who was making Overwatch content at the time. Fitz then reached out to Mccreamy, inviting him to collaborate on an Overwatch video. Mccreamy, who was a secret fan of Fitz's channel, eagerly accepted. accepted, and the two hit it off immediately. From there, the group solidified. They all began making videos together regularly, helping each other grow and ushering in a new era of comedic, personality-driven content in the multiplayer gaming scene. The group created a distinctive style of content early on, featuring creative series like CSGO Freestyling, where they engaged in hilarious rap battles with other players, Shoutcasting, which blended commentary with playful trolling, and Funny Moments gameplay that showcased their chemistry and comedic timing. After a couple of years of uploading content together, most of the group met in person for the first time at PAX Australia in November 2017. Around this time, they began expanding their circle, collaborating with other gaming creators such as Lunch Club and branching out creatively. Swagger then made the decision to drop out of college and commit to YouTube full-time. Fitz followed a similar path, leaving his 9-to-5 job to focus entirely on content creation as his channel had hit 1 million subscribers that year. It was then that they decided to formalize their friendship into an official YouTube group. In 2018, they launched the Misfits channel, and by June, they kicked off the Misfits podcast, a widely popular weekly podcast where they shared outrageous stories and personal adventures, often involving their wild experiences with drugs and traveling.
Guys, we took LSD in Melbourne. Now listen, jokes aside, we got to get some disclaimers out of the way before we jump into the stories that we had. Listen, if you're under the age of 18, if you're underage, we're just telling you right now, this podcast is not meant for you. We can't stop you from listening, but it's not for you, all right? So,
Please click off.
With the Misfits now officially established as a YouTube group, they began searching for management to support their growth and handle the business side of things. They brought on two managers, Matt S. and Ryan P., with Ryan eventually taking the lead as the manager of the Misfits network. With the launch of their group channel and a growing need to collaborate more closely, the Misfits decided to move in together in Melbourne in late 2018. Fitz, however, didn't join them full time. He visited primarily to film content with the group. Living together allowed them to collaborate more frequently and produce content with a consistent tone and chemistry, which helped fuel their rapid growth.
We decided ultimately that we wanted to do more together as Misfits. We wanted to travel more. We wanted to go to more of these events more. And it's really hard when Swagger and iNut were living all the way in America and there's travel and
we just show up stoned every time, it's just not good. It's just not good.
It just basically it made sense for them to move to Australia more permanently, or at least for like a period of to be like living there for months and months, 6 months, a year, whatever the it ends up being. And it also made sense for them to live together, I guess, because otherwise getting separate places. And
easier for the podcast, easier to record, we can all do the podcast in the same room. It's
thanks to manager Ryan, the Misfits embarked on a series of adventures from holidays in LA to collaborations with various creators. These experiences weren't just for fun, they provided fresh stories and talking points for their rapidly growing podcast. The Misfits were experiencing rapid growth on YouTube, prompting them to launch their own Patreon. The funds they received were reinvested into the group, covering travel expenses and eventually securing an office space dedicated to producing their podcast.
You may notice if you're watching the YouTube video that we're in a new set. Yes. We basically, because of our Patreon, we're able to move the podcast into a new office space, and we have this lovely brick wall behind us and a whole office space off camera that you guys are not seeing right now, but you will see in upcoming videos, I'm sure.
To them it looks like we just got a new wall behind you. That was it.
No, believe me, this place is awesome, and we're very happy that we've secured this, and we can't wait to see
a place for the employees, a place for us. It's going to be great.
We can't wait to start building things up from here.
2019 was a pivotal year for the Misfits, marked not only by their rising success, but also by personal challenges and controversies. In June, they released a podcast episode titled Toby Finally Comes Out, where Toby shared that she had identified as a woman for several years and chose to publicly come out at age 22 during the episode.
I mean, my whole life, I was kind of like everyone, as I've talked about in past podcasts, everyone kind of thought I was gay, or they thought I was like weird, and I didn't really feel like I fitted in with like the guys and stuff. And it always felt kind of weird. And then when I turned like 16, I kind of was like, maybe it's because I don't like being a guy. And then around like 17, I actually wrote a letter to my parents.
Really?
It was like the scariest thing of my life. And then I gave them this letter and they read it and it was like, they were like, whoa, well.
You sat there in front of them while they read it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Basically, the letter said like, my whole life I've felt weird, I felt out of place. And I think that it's because I wish I was a woman, basically.
She went on to share that she planned to begin hormone therapy and undergo surgery as part of her transition to becoming a trans woman, a completely life-changing step in her journey, something the Misfits members as well as the majority of the audience completely supported. While Toby was navigating a major personal transformation, Mason was facing his own challenges, arguably even more serious. In March of that year, he released a video titled Channel Update where he ranted about his life and, in a bizarre moment, ate a cigarette on camera.
But yeah, what's been going on with me? I mean, trying to work out what it's like to be an adult, nonetheless to say, it is fun. Yeah, don't really do much else. YouTube's been a bit f***ed for me. YouTube's been like, kind of what the f*** do I do? Like I can't really be f***ed anymore, eh? I've been thinking about just picking up the camera lately and just filming shit, just random shit, because that's kind of what my life is, just shit. It's just random shit. It's just like, it's like if I built the Taj Mahal out of shit, and I don't want to build that thing. Some of you seem pretty concerned right now, and it's a bit unfortunate because there's no need for it. I'm quite content. I'm quite good. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky. I love my life.
While some viewers dismissed the video as Mason simply being his usual self, others sensed that something deeper might be going on behind the scenes and interpreted the video as a possible cry for help. In August, Mason went live on Instagram during what appeared to be a mental health crisis, where he repeatedly spoke about wanting to harm himself.
I don't feel good. I hate everything and I hate everyone. I hate every dude. I hate everyone. I just want to cry, but I can't because there's no point in crying. I don't feel any emotion. My mind can't feel emotion anymore. I can't feel emotion in my brain. My brain doesn't comprehend it.
It was obvious to everyone that Mason was deeply struggling mentally. Mason next took a short hiatus from the internet, returning on the Misfits podcast where he revealed his mental health situation and that for the past month he spent his time in a mental hospital.
They put me in like a psychiatric hospital and it was just like a crazy experience of just like people, like different kinds of people that were different kinds of crazy like me and shit.
Like, first of all, they're probably going to wonder why you went to a psych hospital in the first place.
Well, yeah, I was just like, started like hurting myself a little bit.
I mean, I think one of the things that triggered it was you jumped off like your computer chair and like you like hit your head and that kind of stuff, right? And,
yeah, I was doing some pretty wild shit in my room and then it scared the fuck out of my mum and my brother, and then that's when I ended up getting driven there. I've seen shit, I've heard shit, and it's like something that I've always lived with, but nothing I've really ever acted upon.
Right.
So when I did it, it was kind of like a shock to my mum and my brother.
Looking back, do you feel like it was important that you did go in there?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, fucking oath. Yeah, I was like looking at it now, like it's been a month since, and now like I'm taking medication and that, and like I just looked at it as like another experience, you know.
Mason had a similar experience the year before, though it largely flew under the radar. In 2018, he began posting Fortnite content which significantly accelerated his subscriber growth. His most popular video, I'm a Fortnite God, racked up over 8 million views. That August, he spent 2 weeks in Los Angeles at the Clout House, where FaZe Banks approached him with an offer to join FaZe due to his high skill at gaming. However, during his time in LA, Mason's mental health began to decline.
It was a lot of pressure, especially going into an environment like that, and being myself who uploads once a month. Like, I was instantly pressured to be doing so much more, and I just couldn't deal with it. Like, I was screaming at walls, you know. It was like something from a movie. I felt like something from Split, dude. Thought I was gonna die. Everything was gonna kill me.
Okay, just to also clarify one thing, because I feel like I have to say this to stand up for Mason. He didn't have a breakdown because he couldn't cut it over there, okay? Like, Mason is a hardworking guy. He didn't come home and not follow through with the FaZe thing because he couldn't cut it or because it was, you know, too much. I mean, that might have been like, part of it might have been that it was too overwhelming and he was just a bit young, but it wasn't because he couldn't cut it as a person and a content creator, all right?
Following Mason's struggles with mental health, he left the Misfits house and returned to live with his parents. Shortly after, in October, the group announced that they would all be moving out as their 1-year lease on the Misfits house was coming to an end.
Misfits house is on a 1-year lease, and we have the office now, so it doesn't really make sense for us to all to live together.
And we also can't renew our lease. They won't let us. So
yeah,
we were gonna move out.
We were like too good at tenants.
Yeah, we were really reliable, really awesome tenants.
So we just decided,
Look, when you're dealing with a group house, it's just like, it just seems like it's more stress than it's worth.
Although the Misfits house came to an end, the group continued collaborating across their individual channels as well as their shared group channel. The following year, however, one member became the center of a major controversy that would significantly impact their public image. As previously mentioned, the Misfits frequently collaborated with other gaming creators, including members of the group Lunch Club. One of those members was Call Me Carson, known for his Minecraft and Discord-based content. Carson and Fitz developed a close friendship, regularly streaming and gaming together. Around this time, Carson was also collaborating with another streamer named Caterino. Their on-stream chemistry and flirtatious interactions led many viewers to believe they were a couple. However, this relationship would eventually deteriorate. March 12th, Carson stated on Twitter, "I'm taking a break indefinitely. This has been a difficult decision, but after considering some recent personal events and my own mental health, I've decided I need to take a moment to step away. Going to focus on making myself a better person. Thank you for the support. For those concerned about me, I recently started antidepressants and have been on a whirlwind of emotion and pain in my personal life. I recently started seeing a counselor a few weeks ago. Right now, I'm in no way mature enough to handle the responsibility of this job." After Carson made these tweets, he unfollowed both Kate and Fitz. On Reddit, viewers began speculating that Kate had cheated on Carson with Fitz, which ultimately proved to be true as Carson confirmed it. The revelation stunned viewers, sparking intense backlash directed at both Fitz and Caterino. In response, Fitz issued a public apology to Carson stating, "Hey guys, as many of you will have heard, I've been involved in some personal drama recently, and although the situation is a lot more complicated than anyone expected, I want to apologize publicly, not just in private. I'm sorry, Carson. I hurt you, and I wasn't a good friend. I can only hope that someday you'll forgive me. I regret what I did, and I regret where we are. If you ever decide that I'm worthy of versing you in April, I'm here. Until then, I'm sure the wonderful friends you have around you will have your back." Caterino later released a video apologizing to her audience. Interestingly, she clarified that she and Carson had never actually been in a relationship. However, she still expressed remorse, admitting that she did lead him on and had cheated on her actual boyfriend at the time.
My relationship with Carson was very complicated. I had a boyfriend at the time, and neither Carson nor my boyfriend at the time knew about each other. And while I was clear with Carson that Carson and I were not in a relationship, I still led him on and ended up hurting Carson and my boyfriend at the time very badly in the process.
Although Kate was clearly in the wrong for cheating on her boyfriend, the situation became more complicated due to Carson's belief that he and Kate were in a relationship. A year after the drama unfolded, YouTuber Anything for Views tweeted, "Carson and Kate were never dating. Carson hadn't even held her hand. Fitz entered the room and asked Carson if they're dating. He said no. Fitz then said, 'Is it cool if I hit on her tonight?' Carson said it didn't bother him. Fitz laid pipe and Carson then set the stands on him." If this story is accurate, it raises questions. Why did Fitz feel the need to apologize? And why did Carson present the situation as if he and Kate were dating? Even years later, Kate claimed that Carson had misrepresented the events surrounding the controversy.
I was 19 and I cheated on my boyfriend, and a very big streamer lied about it and it got out of hand.
You said very big streamer. Are you sure about that one?
He was big at the time.
To this day, the full story behind what actually happened between the three remains unclear. Fitz briefly touched on the situation during an episode of the Misfits podcast, hinting that there was much more going on behind the scenes, but ultimately chose not to elaborate, citing it as a private matter.
You know, I have apologized and explained myself to Carson privately behind the scenes, and things have sort of been worked out. And also, I just want to remind everyone that they don't really know the full story, and it's not really anyone's business at the end of the day to know the full story. So the place things are currently at is, look, you know, like I own up to, you know, my mistakes and the things that I did, and I've apologized to Carson publicly and in private. And now it sort of seems that it's time to move on from this, because at the end of the day, it's a personal matter, you know, it's a private thing.
Ultimately, the drama ended with Carson portrayed as the victim, whereas in reality, there was way more to the story. While the other Misfits members continued uploading content to their channels, Fitz stopped posting altogether. Many assumed his absence was tied to the Carson controversy, but Fitz later explained that he simply felt content with his life and didn't feel compelled to make videos. The Misfits carried on producing content until they eventually found themselves in another controversy, this time with Mason at the heart of it. January 2021, Mason was invited to join Offline TV's Rust Roleplay server, a space designed specifically for streamers to create collaborative content. The controversy began when Mason clashed with streamer XQC, with tension sparked after Mason killed him in-game.
This is my first day on the game. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Do you remember where your base was?
Yeah, here, I'll tell you.
Oh, God. Okay, I'm running. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. I'm sorry.
That's what you get for talking shit
about my mum. That's what you get for talking shit about my mum.
Then he kills me, and he unironically takes the loot and runs away, dude. This is why this is just boring. We can only be on the losing end of it all the time.
No, that's so fucking weird. We just like...
Dude,
then the way we're
I made the
playing,
walls
like,
and
our base
dude.
turned into like a social hub.
Dude,
hang with people. People
yeah,
come out
exactly.
to, like, talk
and then we
stuff,
always get
and
killed in it
people
all
use
the
that
time.
to just sneak up on kills.
Dude, exactly. Our base turned into like the RP hub where people steal shit and kill us. It's so boring.
Yeah, and then if you guys start it, you're the bad guy.
And if we kill them, oh, we're gonna raid them back. Oh, we're gonna be like, this is just weird.
XQC was upset with Mason as apparently the server's rules prohibited killing and griefing, actions Mason was engaging in. Later, Mason encountered XQC again and tried to kill him a second time, but the attempt was unsuccessful and ultimately led to him getting kicked from the server.
XQC.
Man, you're cringe as f, dude. Dude, listen, you need instead of chasing me down for kills, you have to focus on your own channel, dude. Stop letting it die out, dude. You're no content Andy, you
Well, I can't help it, bro. I've got text-to-speech on. If someone says I can't help it.
I'll try to get him kicked from this server. Just get.
Mason's kick from the server split the Rust community. One side argued that his kick was necessary as he broke the server's rules, whilst the other argued that killing and looting were part of the regular Rust experience. Funnily enough, this wasn't the only drama the Misfits were caught up in that month, as Fitz was also involved in a small controversy. Between 2020 and 2021, a rising trend known as cancel culture began to take hold, where YouTubers and celebrities faced backlash over minor actions. One of the most notable figures caught in this wave was Dream, who was criticized for things ranging from using Native American music in his videos to not being vaccinated, sparking intense reactions from losers on Twitter. Fitz also faced cancellation during one of his live streams after using the word retarded.
What am I actually doing? Can I say that? Are they gonna get mad at me on Twitter? Unfortunately, when you play Minecraft, a lot of the audience for Minecraft, especially on these multiplayer servers that include a bunch of streamers and there's a very young Stanny community that sort of seemed to occupy a lot of their time just getting riled up about shit that people say and do. And yeah, they just took to Twitter and went ham on me, which as far as I'm concerned was just wonderful. I don't know, most of the trending tab was just people supporting me anyways.
The controversy lasted only a day before fading away, with most people quickly moving on. In May 2022, a major incident affected Misfits member Mccreamy. On the 22nd, his YouTube channel was hacked by a crypto scam account known as Tesla Live, which wiped all of his videos. Within just a few days, Mccreamy lost 80,000 subscribers, leading to significant strain on him mentally. YouTube initially terminated his account following the hack, but later reinstated it. Mccreamy then made a video talking about the situation.
You see these bags under my eyes? They're not from Fortnite. They're not from staying up past my bedtime playing video games. They're actually from the amount of stress that I've been through and the lack of sleep that I've had the past few days. I haven't slept in God knows how long, and this was probably the worst, most disgusting, putrid, rancid, terrifying, violating experience of my entire life.
Although Mccreamy eventually regained access to his channel, the situation caused overwhelming stress, leading him to take a short break from creating content. Despite facing multiple controversies over the past year, the Misfits continued uploading content as usual. However, their podcast began to lose traction. A major factor was the COVID-19 pandemic throughout 2020 and 2021, which forced everyone into isolation. Prior to the pandemic, the group regularly participated in events organized by their manager Ryan P, giving them plenty to talk about on the podcast. With lockdowns in place, they struggled to find engaging topics. Although they were obligated to release weekly episodes under a deal with Spotify, once that agreement ended, the Misfits decided to take a break from the podcast.
You know, the podcast, it's not quite what it used to be. You know, we've sort of been on this weekly schedule with our Spotify contract, which has now ended. But you know, once the contract ended, once we'd fulfilled all the episodes we had to do, we thought, all right, let's take a few weeks off. Let's think about what we want the Misfits and the podcast to be going forward, and then let's talk about it in an episode like this. The unfortunate thing about being under contract was that even when we didn't have anything to talk about, which was a lot of the time throughout this COVID period,
especially during the Melbourne lockdowns.
Yes.
A lot of people, I've noticed from streams, a lot of people do not understand how locked down Melbourne was.
Yeah, we were extra locked down.
And they just think, oh, the Misfits weren't doing it because they didn't want to. No, we literally couldn't leave our houses.
Yeah, it was like, you know, the podcast, especially with that period over Discord, it was like, you know, hey, what you guys do this week? So I woke up, I off. I played video games and smoked weed, and then I went to sleep.
It was a very bland period.
It was a very, very bland period.
Yeah.
After making this announcement, the Misfits only uploaded 5 more podcast episodes, with the last one released on November 23rd, 2022. The episode with YouTuber I Did a Thing was presumably their last, as after it aired, they never returned. In fact, the Misfits hadn't posted on the group channel since February 2023. Fans pressed the members about when new content would drop, leading Mason to make a shocking statement on Twitter in May 2023. Yo, for the foreseeable future, Misfits won't be posting any more content, so could you please stop coming into my Twitch chat and asking constantly? It's exhausting being the messenger since I'm the only one consistently live on Twitch streaming. Cheers. Viewers were caught off guard as Mason never explained why the Misfits had seemingly come to an end. While the podcast conclusion made sense given the circumstances, the sudden silence around the group channel left fans with countless unanswered questions. After Mason's statement, the Misfits simply continued posting on their individual channels as though nothing had changed. Viewers also began to notice that the Misfits had stopped appearing in each other's videos, suggesting they were now focused on their individual paths. This shift was particularly evident with Mason, who had completely distanced himself from collaborative content with the group. That same year, he took part in a boxing match against Halalham under Misfits Boxing, ultimately losing the fight in May. Despite the outcome, Mason had grown passionate about the sport and expressed a desire to become more involved in the YouTube boxing scene. Fitz was also scheduled to participate in a Creator Clash boxing event, but his match was ultimately cancelled after his opponent, I Did a Thing, withdrew from the fight. Fast forwarding to September 2023, Mason took part in an IRL streaming challenge in Australia organised by streamers Ice Poseidon and Sam Pepper. The premise was simple: if a streamer was recognised in public, they earned $3. That money would then be gambled, and whatever remained was used to purchase basic essentials like food and water. Participants were also prohibited from staying in hotels or Airbnbs, relying instead on couch surfing for accommodation. On the first night, Mason struggled with the challenge as the group was forced to sleep on tables in an office, an experience that led to a minor breakdown for him.
Bro! There's vomit everywhere in here now! It smells like air freshener and vomit!
That's alright, I can't see, it's too dark in here.
Please, Paul!
I did not do it. It smells like
asthma!
Is that what it is?
Yes, you have asthma!
So it's throwing up, isn't it?
Yes!
No, it smells like shit. I wanted it to be not smell like shit.
Oh man, dude, that's not being fun. Yeah, don't do that. Dude, that's not real bad.
The following day, while at a restaurant, Mason asked the viewers to order him special fried rice directly to his table. When the order never arrived, he became visibly upset and had a breakdown.
Give me... Was it hot? No, wait, they've ordered the special fried rice. She told
No, they're coming with food, dude.
No, she ordered the special fried rice.
What's he doing now?
Dude.
What are you doing? Come on.
I'm panicking.
Come on.
I'm panicking.
Come on.
I'm panicking.
Get back in the restaurant. Get back in the restaurant.
Dude.
Come on. It's okay, just chill.
Dude.
You're fine, bro. Just, the food is on its way.
In the end, Mason's girlfriend Caitlin ordered him the special fried rice, but the group took it away, claiming it violated the rules of the challenge. This only intensified Mason's distress. It was clear that his reaction wasn't just about the food, he was experiencing a genuine panic attack. Sadly, rather than cutting the stream to give him privacy, Sam and Ice Poseidon continued filming him.
I don't think you guys understand mental health compared to me, dude.
Yeah, but explain it to me then.
It works a bit different in this world, mate.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as you think.
Tell me.
I've been for my whole life. It's been like this since I was born.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
What, like chemical or like stuff that's happened in your life?
Man.
Just life?
Just life.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you do this and you go home and you start streaming,
you'll have 1,000 viewers minimum.
I can't deal with 1,000 viewers, mate.
Minimum.
I can't deal with chat that goes fast. I can't do it. It's not built for me.
Bro.
It's not built.
You're like a really good live stream.
Yeah.
It's not built for me, though.
What stresses you out about it?
Watch chat go that fast.
Why? What stresses you about it?
I'm scared, man.
Yeah, I know, but like, it, bro. At least you're aware.
I'm scared. I've been like this since I was born. I just made everything.
I know, I'm trying to understand.
Dude, I see shit.
Oh. Took a wild guess, I don't know.
I see shit, man.
Bro, what the see shit?
Yes. Paranoid schizo. and I take meds every day. It doesn't work because I've been like, this is all cool, mate. Why am I filming these?
After his breakdown, Mason calmed down and continued participating in the challenge. However, things soon took a turn for the worse. One day, Mason disappeared from the group for several hours, prompting Ice Poseidon and Sam Pepper to contact the police out of concern. No one knew where he was.
Just give us like 1 minute.
Sorry, Zuckles, I'm sorry for whatever happened, man.
I mean, it's fine, mate. Don't stress.
You don't want to be on camera, I'm gonna walk away.
Just give me like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I got you.
To the guys.
Yeah, I got you.
Mason exited the challenge shortly after the incident. It was clear that his mental health was still in a fragile state. Although no official explanation was ever given, fans continued to speculate about what had caused the Misfits sudden split. Then in December 2023, a giant story surfaced that may have explained the group's sudden end. YouTuber CoffeeZilla, renowned for investigating crypto scams and shady creator schemes, released a video titled Huge Creator Scam, exposing the Misfits manager Ryan P for scamming multiple content creators. Ryan P launched a merchandise company called Revolt, designed as a platform for YouTubers to sell their branded apparel. The concept was straightforward. Creators would list their merchandise on Revolt's site, which would handle promotion and sales in exchange for a percentage of the profits. However, CoffeeZilla's investigation revealed that Ryan wasn't just taking the agreed upon cut, he was also stealing additional revenue from the creators' earnings and using the funds for personal expenses.
But there was another side of things. Ryan Piacente had a spending problem. He took 6 private jet trips in a month. Thousands of dollars every night on dinner. We have receipts for, by the way. They spent $25,000 a week to rent a mansion in LA. And they rented a Ferrari for $20,000 for a week. But the thing was, it wasn't really Ryan footing the bill. It was actually Revolt.
Since Ryan was overspending, he devised a scheme to cover his tracks. After spending the revenue from Creator A's merchandise, he would pay them back using the profits made from Creator B's sales. Then Creator B would be paid back using the profits made from Creator C's sales, and so on and so forth. Eventually the scheme collapsed, and Revolt began delaying payments to the creators who were still owed their earnings. This prompted many creators to speak out publicly against Revolt, sharing their experiences and frustrations with the company. Not only did CoffeeZilla present evidence of Ryan's excessive spending habits, but Ryan himself had acknowledged the issue in a previous episode of the Misfits podcast.
So why aren't you a millionaire?
He spends money like a money. Yeah. Did you always spend money like an idiot?
Yeah, I've always spent money like a re. I mean, the thing with money is I like to be able to provide that experience to everybody. So a lot of the money that I spend is actually on other people for the most part, because I'm just like, yeah, let's do it. Like, let's have fun.
That's true.
Right. Like, who cares about the future, right?
Yeah, well, that's really what it is.
In addition, more than 100,000 customers complained, reporting that the company either shipped incorrect merchandise or failed to deliver their orders entirely. Even before CoffeeZilla released his video, more allegations had already begun surfacing against Ryan, this time involving claims of assault. One user, known as Peckett, took to Twitter and posted, "Throughout my time working with the Misfits and their merch company, I was continually put into extremely uncomfortable situations with Ryan and made to partake in acts which I would only ever agree to after being coerced, told I would get a promotion, get to live with my friends, taken on overseas trips, or made a money offer I wasn't in the position to refuse as I was underpaid and never paid on time. I've witnessed him perv on his employees in the shower, break into clients' phones to search for private photos, take advantage of men who he has given way too much alcohol and drugs. He uses his money and influence to manipulate vulnerable people into fulfilling his desires. I know of many more stories that make me sick and give me nightmares to this day. It's not my place to share them, but to others with similar experiences, you're not alone. The Misfits are aware of at least some of these actions and choose to look the other way and leave their audience and staff open to abuse. I have lost all respect for them. Having a platform is a privilege, and the people that allow you to have one should be protected." After Peckett came out with this tweet, another individual by the name of Will Goons came out with his experience. Will Goons shared that he was introduced to Ryan and the Misfits in 2020 when he was between 18 18 and 19 years old, to potentially work with them. Ryan hired him and provided financial support during a difficult period in his family life, an act that, in hindsight, appeared to be part of a manipulative grooming process. He recounted an incident where Ryan offered him $500 in exchange for a nude photo. Feeling pressured and afraid of jeopardizing the opportunity, Will Goon sent photos but later had to block Ryan after discovering the image had been saved to Ryan's camera roll, something Will Goons believed Ryan did to keep as a blackmail if he ever came out with a story against him. He went on to describe a series of troubling encounters. At a party, Ryan allegedly touched him inappropriately while they were in an outdoor spa. Later, Will Goons retreated upstairs to shower as he felt incredibly uncomfortable around Ryan. Ryan reportedly entered the bathroom to watch him shower. In another account, Will Goons said he was invited to Ryan's home, where he was ultimately assaulted in Ryan's bedroom. A truly sad and disgusting story. To make matters worse, a third victim, known as Hamish, later came forward to share his own experience involving Ryan P. Hamish shared that he first met Ryan at the Misfits $100,000 party in 2019. He was filming for a vlog to upload to his personal channel, but was then noticed by Ryan. Ryan asked for the footage to be included in the Misfits video, something Hamish agreed to and sent to the Misfits editors after the party. Ryan was impressed by Hamish's videography and gave him the opportunity to work for the Misfits. Motivated by the opportunity, Hamish relocated to Melbourne to pursue his passion for filming and editing, gradually spending more time around Ryan. He recounted an incident at one of Ryan's parties where Ryan touched him inappropriately. Ryan then offered him a house tour, which Hamish agreed, but to have one of his friends join, something Ryan was obviously annoyed by as he had secret intentions. He also recounted that a few months later, Ryan was heading to his house to collect his car when he disclosed his true intentions, something Hamish immediately rejected, clarifying that he wasn't gay. In another troubling account, Hamish described being invited to the Misfits house where he was required to inhale something before entering, which made him incredibly intoxicated. While under the influence and in the bathroom, Ryan stood by the door and offered him an excessive amount of money to shower. Hamish agreed and during the shower was sadly assaulted by Ryan. Disturbingly, the situation escalated further in CoffeeZilla's video where he revealed more accusations, including messages sent by Ryan requesting explicit images from minors.
When Ryan asked a fan, "Can we get married?" when she told him she was 16, he said, "Come back in 2 years," which would be when she was 18. But 1 year later, Ryan reached back out, saying this, quote, "I retweeted your selfie. Do I get nudes?" She replies, "That's illegal." He says, quote, "Don't worry, I ain't no snitch."
As mentioned previously, one of the victims, Peckett, claimed that the Misfits were allegedly aware of Ryan's actions behind the scenes. However, no concrete evidence has surfaced to confirm that they knew. The group itself never issued a direct statement addressing Ryan or the allegations. That said, one member, Mason, did speak out, revealing that he too had been abused by Ryan. He shared his experience through tweets that were later deleted. "I'll never get the image out of my head of that fat abruptly walking into the shower whilst I was experimenting with my sexuality, and he invaded every part of it. Looking for a new manager that can look out for me and is not gonna me, DMs open." It was truly devastating to learn what Mason had endured. Of all the Misfits members, his experience appeared to be the most devastating. Mason's mental health had unfortunately continued to decline. In June 2024, following the end of his 4-year relationship with his girlfriend Caitlin, he chose to step away from the internet to prioritize his well-being after the many hardships he had faced over the years. He shared this final statement. If you've clicked on this, thanks for taking the time to have a read. Lately, I've been struggling deeply with emotional trauma, and I think being on the internet as of late has put a true dent in my psychological and physical state. Since the Misfits abandoned, I felt unable to adjust to any other form of content, being left with only what I know, which was making content with them. This means that whenever I boot up a stream or try to make anything else, I don't really know who I am anymore. I'm suffering from what Ryan did still, and I will mention that yes, something did happen to me too involving with Peckett, but thankfully I've been able to move quite forward from it since I had support around me at the time. However, it still plays a part in the way I project things to this day. I helped build Misfits from the ground up, and I understand things need to move on, but I am struggling to comprehend what is next for myself. I've spent months in tears and bashing my head on walls, feeling ashamed and embarrassed of myself as a YouTuber with over 1 million subscribers and $5 in my bank account. To top it off, too, I'm going through a 4-year breakup and I just feel like a laughingstock to people. I got psychological help, but since moving back to Geelong, I found it hard to find someone who helped me as good as my other psychologist based in Melbourne, so essentially I've been back to square one for months now. I think my passion for making content comes from a drive of desperation rather than being happy, and instead doing my best at chasing some sort of closure that I'm still that guy that came so far from how he started out. With this being said, I do have things going for me. I just think that being on the internet is really putting a roadblock on me healing and finding peace for who I am truly. All my stupid posts I'm making a lot of the time isn't who I am, and I'm just struggling. I'm starting to realize slowly that I don't need to post stupid shit for people for some sort of gratification, when at the end of the day, you all see the side of Zuckles, but only I know Mason. I think this step away from the internet will heal me tremendously, and I hope I can find a job or something that fulfills me rather than being this frowned upon mascot that has been for years. I'll still be active on my Instagram most likely, but posting with a grain of salt, but live streaming, however, it's time to take a step back and just throw in the towel, whether it's for months or a whole year or never again. I thank everyone who has supported me through my idiotic posts and can see clearly that I'm not who I am as of late, and also for reaching out. Also, don't blame any of the boys from the crew for anything that I'm going through. I still keep in touch with them, and they'll always be my best mates. They do a lot more behind the scenes than you think for me. Cheers, and hopefully I can finally move past this bullshit of reacting to what people say on the internet and start becoming the great person I've envisioned for the future. So yeah, bye for now, but hello to a new me. As of 2025, what are the Misfits members up to? Following his hiatus, Mason made a return to content creation in September 2024, signaling a noticeable improvement in his mental well-being.
I think honestly it's about time I go back to the kind of roots of how I started doing all this stuff, and perhaps maybe just go back to playing Rust and recording videos like I used to and editing them. I just kind of like feel like I've lost myself over these past few years, and I think it would be best to just go back to doing what I did originally and just finding that part of myself again. And I think a lot of this time I've spent thinking about it has made me realize that I'm just chasing stuff that isn't really necessary.
To this day, he continues to upload content to his channel and occasionally live streams on Twitch. SwaggerSouls continues to make content and stream as usual. iNotorious took a year-long break from uploading, but has recently returned to posting videos consistently. Toby appears to have shifted away from gaming content and streaming on her original channel, instead launching a new channel called Speedless, where she focuses on car-related content. Fitz, after stepping away from his main channel, made a brief return before leaving it once again, though he now uploads regularly to his second channel. The group still collaborates and plays together, but it seems each member is pursuing their own path. However, the same can't be said for Mccreamy. In April of this year, he released a video titled Goodbye, in which he shared his decision to step away from content creation due to a lack of motivation. After reaching the milestone of 10 million subscribers, he found himself uncertain about what goals to pursue next.
Next point. Let's just bring out the elephant in the room. This guy right here, 10 million subscribers. Amazing achievement. So happy about it. Once I hit that, I had absolutely no idea what to do. I lost all motivation. That was the goal that I had for like my entire career, basically. I thought once I hit 10 million subscribers, like that was, you know, that's, what do? You hit 10 million subscribers. Like that's insane. You get the diamond play button. Once I hit that, I didn't know what to do. I've tried to set myself goals, like what is more subscribers? What is more money? What is more Fortnite videos, you know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense, but the conclusion I came to was that I need a break.
Mccreamy also chose to step away from content creation to prioritize personal challenges he was facing, shifting his focus away from YouTube to address those aspects of his life.
There's a lot of personal things. I won't get too in depth about what's going on, but I've got like crazy, like I can barely sit down in my chair. And who would have thought after 10, 11 years of doing this that I would get back pain? Like sitting in a chair for 10 years, 11 years is not good for your body. Anyways, that brings me to my next point. And I don't even know if I should be sharing this. I don't know if I'm going to cut this out. My mum is also going through some stuff right now, and I don't want to be sitting here stressing out about Fortnite videos, man.
Although Mccreamy has paused uploading on his own channel for the time being, he still makes appearances in other Misfits videos, joining them in gameplay sessions. The Misfits were once a rapidly rising force in online entertainment, a group of friends who turned a shared gaming hobby into a thriving brand. Their videos and podcast episodes consistently captivated audiences, and their success grew so significantly that they evolved into a full-fledged company with dedicated staff behind the scenes. What began as a passion project became a cultural phenomenon, but behind the scenes, a larger reality was unfolding. The group's momentum came to an unfortunate end due to the actions of Ryan P., someone they trusted, but who ultimately betrayed that trust in horrifying ways. Whether the Misfits were aware of what Ryan was doing remains uncertain to this day, and the lack of clarity only deepens the tragedy. It's profoundly sad to witness how a close-knit group of creators, once united by friendship and creativity, was fractured by deception. Their story serves as a painful reminder of how quickly success can unravel when trust is broken, and how even the brightest brands can dim when the people behind them are forced to confront unimaginable truths. Hey guys, it's Kluster. Thank you very much for watching this video. Every time before I upload a video, I post in my community tab hints to what the next video is going to be, and the winner gets a shout out. So shout out to Not Much for guessing that it was going to be on the Misfits this time. So if you want to shout out, make sure to look out for my community posts and try and guess who the next person's going to be that I'm going to make a video on. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, like, dislike, and as always, join the Clown Empire.